Good morning and welcome to News at 10 on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor and here are the headlines. President calls for thorough revision of the Indian Penal Code amid raging debate over slapping of sedition charges against students at JNU. Pranab Mukherjee says IPC must meet the needs of 21st century. Three-member women's team set up by Haryana government to find truth behind reports of gang rapes during Jodhpur. Haryana police says it has not received any complaints so far. Chief Minister assures no one will be denied justice. India all set to issue Multicity multiple entry business visa to businessmen of SAARC nations, including Pakistan, beginning 1st of April. And FIFA gets a new president. Europe's Gianni Infantino registers convincing win over Asian rival Sheikh Salman bin Ibrahim Al Khalifa, vows to lead graft-tainted body into a new era. And our rivals India and Pakistan take on each other in the T20 Asia Cup match at Mirpur today. India has won its match against Bangladesh. This is Pakistan's first match of the series. Well, a top focus amid a raging debate on the sedition law in the country. President Pranab Mukherjee has said that the Indian Penal Code requires a thorough revision to meet the needs of the 21st century. He further stressed that changes are necessary in the archaic police system as well. Now, speaking at the valedictory event on the occasion of the year-long celebrations of the 155th anniversary of IPC in Kochi, the president said that IPC has undergone very few changes. He further added that there are offences in the code which were enacted by the British to meet their colonial needs. Now, in the light of the sedition law being applied on JNU students for allegedly raising anti-national slogans, there have been strong calls for either deletion or drastic changes in Section 124A of the IPC, which deals with sedition. The president also added that the police must go beyond the role of merely being a law-enforcing body.
There is no doubt that IPC is a premier code of the criminal law, is a model piece of legislation. Nevertheless, it requires a thorough revision to meet the changing needs of the 21st century. The IPC has undergone very few changes in the last 150 years. Very few crimes have been added to the initial list of crimes and declared punishable. Even now, there are offences in the code which were enacted by the British to meet their colonial rules requirements. Yet, there are many new offences which have to be properly defined and incorporated in the code.
Meanwhile, in the JNU Followup, the Students' Union President Kanhaiya Kumar has been sent back to the Har jail by a Delhi court. This after the completion of a day's police remand, wherein Kanhaiya was interrogated alongside two other students of the university, namely Umar Khalid and Anirban Bhattacharya. Now, all the three JNU students have been arrested in a sedition case. Meanwhile, the Delhi police has said that after the joint interrogation of the three students, around 22 people have been identified who were present at the JNU event where anti-national slogans were allegedly raised. However, police have so far been unable to identify 4 persons who were spotted allegedly raising anti-national slogans. The police have started preparing the evidence file of the case. The file includes the raw version of the video clip which was obtained from a news channel, on the basis of which the case was registered. JNU President Kanhaiya Kumar, Umar Khalid and Anirban Bhattacharya were arrested in the case of sedition and criminal conspiracy registered over the controversial JNU event in which anti-national slogans were allegedly raised.
मैं अभी फ़िलहाल इन्वेस्टिगेशन को डिस्कस नहीं कर सकता, क्योंकि इन्वेस्टिगेशन में हम कई प्रकार के कार्य करते हैं, तो हर कार्य को डिस्कस नहीं किया जा सकता। और जब हम अपनी चार्जशीट फाइल करेंगे तो उसमें हर बात का खुलासा किया जाएगा। देखिए, ये हमारा एक रामबाण हमने छोड़ा है टू ब्रिंग पुलिस एंड पब्लिक ऑन द सेम पेज।
Meanwhile, news from Haryana now, where the police has formed an all-women inquiry committee to look into the allegations that women commuters were pulled out of their cars during the recent Jat agitation and mass gang rapes took place at Murthal in Haryana's Sonipat district. The order comes a day after the Punjab and Haryana High Court took a suo motu cognizance of the incident. Now, Chief Minister of the state has promised that there will be no injustice, and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has demanded strict punishment to the culprits.
मैं आपके माध्यम से जनता से ये रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहता हूं कि किसी के पास कोई सूचना, कोई ऑडियो क्लिप, कोई वीडियो क्लिप, कोई भी एविडेंस अगर किसी भी इस प्रकार के अपराधों के बारे में अवेलेबल है तो इस कमेटी के किसी भी मेंबर को आप फोन कर सकते हैं या अपनी कन्वीनियंस पे कहीं भी लोकल पुलिस को भी फोन कर सकते हैं.
An all-women panel set up to probe the truth behind the allegations of mass gang rapes taking place at Murthal during Jat agitation in Haryana. The inquiry committee is headed by woman DIG Rajshri Singh and comprises 2 women DSPs, Bharti Dabas and Surinder Kaur. Haryana government has also set up a helpline number where any person having any information about any such incident can give information. The developments come after media reports said that mass gang rapes took place in the early hours of Monday and that up to 10 women were sexually assaulted by a group of nearly 40 hooligans during the Jat community's agitation for reservation.
और सिंस ये कमेटी आज फॉर्म हुई है तो मैंने आके थोड़ा सा मुआयना किया.
कहा जा रहा है कि लेडीज के कपड़े वगैरह जो पड़े हुए थे या दूसरी जो चीजें थी तो क्या वो रिकवर वगैरह आप लोगों ने?
बिल्कुल, वो हमने रिकवर कर लिए हैं और जैसे हमारा जो प्रोसेस चलता है पुलिस में उस हिसाब से हम कार्रवाई करेंगे.
The police say no one has been able to confirm the mass rapes, no witnesses have come forward and no complaints have been made and villagers have said nothing. However, taking note of the allegations, the Punjab and Haryana High Court on Wednesday asked Haryana's Chief Secretary and the police chief to submit a report on the alleged rapes by 29th of February. The court also said that women who were allegedly assaulted could send in their complaints in sealed envelopes to the magistrate and their identity would not be revealed.
विक्टिम के लिए हम हर प्रकार की सुविधा देने के लिए तैयार हैं. टेलीफोन नंबर उनको देंगे, सब कुछ देंगे. किसी भी प्रकार से विक्टिम आते हैं तो उनकी सुरक्षा करना हमारा काम है, उनकी भी सुरक्षा करेंगे.
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal also expressed anguish, and Delhi Commission for Women Chief Swati Maliwal has urged the victims who belong to Delhi to approach the body for legal support and justice. Protests by Jat groups demanding reservation in government jobs and education turned violent last week as mobs burnt buildings, blocked highways, damaged cars and even attacked canals, cutting off water supply to Delhi. The stir claimed 30 lives. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. In some other news, Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan is expected to host a 2-day Women Legislators Summit in the coming month to engage top women political leaders on a single platform. And there are about 100 women MPs, including ministers, 400 MLAs and ministers in various states. Women chief ministers, as also former President Pratibha Patil, are expected to attend the conference, which is scheduled for 4th and 5th of March. At a luncheon get-together yesterday, she expressed her satisfaction over the budget session of Parliament, which she said was progressing well as compared to last sessions. And in other news, India has ruled out a troop withdrawal from the Siachen glacier. Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar told Lok Sabha that Pakistan cannot be trusted and it may occupy the strategic areas if India vacates. The statement comes despite loss of 10 soldiers in an avalanche recently. Informing the Lok Sabha that the number of deaths of soldiers per year at the heights have been brought down, Parrikar said that Pakistan cannot be trusted if India vacates its strategically advantageous position at the heights.
If you vacate this position and if the enemy occupies them, it will be almost impossible and we will have to lose many more lives to recover them back, as was the experience in '84 when even they were not fully occupied. So from strategic reason, the position of Saltor Range and the highest position we have, strategically this area is very important for us to man. As far as the Pakistan is concerned, I don't think anyone in the House would take their word for granted. So we have to maintain our strategic advantage.
And India is all set to issue multi-city, multiple-entry business visa to businessmen of SAARC nations, including Pakistan, beginning 1st of April 2016. The business visa, to be called Indian Business Card, is expected to be granted for a period of up to 5 years or for a shorter duration as per the requirement of the businessmen of the SAARC countries. Now, Pakistani entrepreneurs seeking special business visa should run an enterprise worth 1 crore Indian rupees and should have an annual income of at least 10 lakh Pakistani rupees to be eligible for a 3-year multiple entry card. The other condition is that one should be a member of any Chamber of Commerce in Pakistan that is recognized by India. But there are reliefs for Pakistani travellers as well. Travel for Pakistani availing the facility can travel to 15 cities for a period of 3 years. Currently, they are eligible for grant of multiple entry business visa for a maximum period of 1 year and can travel only to 10 places. Now, under the new scheme, Pakistani entrepreneurs will be exempted from reporting at a local police station, which is a must for Pakistanis coming to India on any other visa. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had, during the SAARC summit in Kathmandu in 2014, announced business visas with 3 to 5 years validity for citizens of all SAARC member nations. And in News at 10, we'll take a very short break. Up next, all the international news. Stay with us.
I don't attach too much importance to these prizes anyway, but still it is an accomplishment. First time it explained why things go in and don't come out. I call myself the black holy man of India. If you want to see a black hole which exists because of stability, you will have to hit it with something that will be scattered. So the obvious thing for me was gravitational radiation.
Watch Eureka with Professor C.V. Vishweshwara, eminent theoretical physicist, only on Rajya Sabha TV.
Welcome back. The big international story, a landmark ceasefire has come into effect in Syria. Officials said that the temporary ceasefire is holding at the moment. Meanwhile, the peace talks will resume on 7th of March. The US President Barack Obama cautioned the Syrian government and Russia that the world will be watching. A day after intense fighting, there is an unusual calm in Syrian cities. Guns have fallen silent in Dara and Damascus with a temporary ceasefire in place, an attempt by the international community to halt Syria's 5-year-old civil war. If the cessation of hostilities holds largely, the UN will resume Syria peace talks on 7th of March.
Today, there were 97 armed groups, plus the government, all the major regional and international stakeholders who indicated in time by, as you remember, midday was the moment for indicating the willingness to accept the framework of the cessation of hostility.
لقد شارك وفد الجمهورية العربية السورية في محادثات جنيف الأخيرة بنية صادقة وجدية تامة بهدف الوصول إلى تسوية سياسية للأزمة في بلاد سوريا. واليوم أكرر جاهزية الحكومة السورية.
UN still remains cautious. Russia expressed readiness to comply with the ceasefire, but warned the US-led coalition stop playing politics. Russia's tit-for-tat reply comes in the wake of Obama's comment on Friday that it cannot effectively fight against Islamic State if Syrian President Bashar al-Assad continues to remain in his position.
Которые заявят о своей готовности прекратить огонь в отношении этих боевых групп, боевые действия со стороны вооруженных сил Сирии, России и возглавляемой Соединенными Штатами Америки коалиции, против них боевые действия вестись не будут.
This crisis cannot be resolved through force alone, that it will require a political solution. We've heard it, we've said it. But today, we have an opportunity. If we can make this cessation of hostilities hold, which is a very big if, we will take a genuine step toward that political solution we have been talking about for so long.
The US-Russia brokered cessation of hostilities would also allow aid deliveries in besieged areas. Significantly, the truce does not apply to IS or the Al-Qaeda-linked Nusra Front, which, according to Syrian opposition, is a significant loophole. The Nusra Front on Friday urged its supporters to intensify attacks against Assad and his allies, a move that could intensify fighting and shatter a fragile truce. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. More news from the Middle East. Well, in Iran, counting has started after polls closed on Friday. It is the first election held in post-sanctions Iran. Higher voter turnout has been registered. Election officials said that voting was extended 3 times as crowds flocked to the polling stations. Iranians are electing a new parliament and assembly of experts, a clerical body that appoints the supreme leader. The results could affect Hassan Rouhani's chances of re-election in 2017. Partial results are expected later today, but a clear outcome may take days to emerge.
This is a clear indication that the people are present in the scene, in the political scene in Iran, that they believe in the democratic processes in the country. They are taking part in the elections to influence these policies according to the directions that they believe. And this will strengthen the government of President Rouhani in terms of both economic relations, in continuing the post-sanctions policies that the government has.
I hope some change happen in Majlis in Iran. New group, new opinion, new decision, and I think they should support the government from the Iran.
Protect to our governmental, which is going to open the doors to the Europe, United States, and other Asian countries to new relationship, to new communication with them.
News from the US. Well, Republican candidate Donald Trump has won the surprise endorsement of New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. Christie is the most prominent mainstream Republican to get behind the former reality TV star's White House campaign. Christie said that a billionaire businessman had the best chance of beating Democrat Hillary Clinton in the 8th of November presidential election. The frontrunner, Trump's unorthodox candidacy, has stirred controversy and shaken the Republican Party at its roots. But an increasing number of senior Republicans are becoming resigned to the idea that he will be their candidate in November. Christie said that Trump is rewriting the playbook.
Thank you, everybody. I love you. Thank you.
Texas, I'm here today to proudly say I endorse Donald Trump for President of the United States. America must have a strong leader again that can restore American jobs, that can restore American confidence, and Donald Trump is just the man to do it. America needs someone who's going to make sure that Hillary Clinton doesn't get within 10 miles of the White House. Donald Trump can do it.
A lot of endorsements happening. It's amazing when you're in #1 place for a long period of time, the endorsements are coming in, but the one I really was happy with is this one right here. So, Chris, thank you. We love you, man.
And more international stories now in World Wrap. At least 9 people were killed in Somalian capital of Mogadishu when Al-Shabaab militants bombed a youth league hotel. Another explosion targeted a popular park known as the Peace Garden. Police forces are retaliating and killing 4 attackers. The Youth League Hotel is situated near the presidential palace and is popular with the government personnel. In an endorsement to Obama's gun control laws, a dean at the University of Texas has decided to step down over a new state law which will allow concealed handguns to be carried to the university campuses. Frederick Steiner said that the policy is inappropriate for higher education. Texas passed the legislation in 2015 and it will come into effect later in August this year. Families of the victims of the 1993 bombing of the World Trade Center gathered in New York on Friday to mark 23 years of the horrific attack. It was a prelude to the 11th of September 2001 attacks that destroyed the Twin Towers. The gathering at the 9/11 Memorial in Lower Manhattan began with a moment of silence at the time when truck bomb exploded in 1993. Well, we'll slip into another very short break. Up next, we have all the sports news for you. Stay tuned.
Art arisen from a multi-hued cultural canvas. Tradition and cultural fervour dating back centuries. And encircling them all, there's a magic that awes. Embrace your nation's brilliant human warmth. Watch Colours of India, Sundays at 9:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. Now, Gianni Infantino has been chosen as the new FIFA president. The election came in the second round of the Extraordinary Congress of FIFA held in Zurich on Friday. Infantino takes the place after a scandal-ridden reign of former boss Sepp Blatter.
Crisis-hit world football governing body FIFA faced one of its most important days in history when it elected a new leader in Zurich, hoping to usher in a fresh era after decades of corruption. A wide-ranging set of reforms intended to make FIFA more transparent, professional and accountable were passed before the presidential election.
Je vous exhorte tous à soutenir ces mesures et ces réformes à travers votre vote aujourd'hui, à adopter cette série de réformes et à les mettre pleinement en œuvre par la suite. Cela créera un système de gouvernance plus robuste, ainsi qu'une plus grande diversité qui donnera au football.
Delegates from more than 200 countries cast their votes in the first ballot after the 4 remaining candidates made their final speeches to the extraordinary FIFA Congress. No candidate was elected in the first round as none received the required 2/3 of the 207 votes cast. A second round of voting took place where, with a simple majority, Gianni Infantino was declared as the new president of World Soccer's governing body.
I want to see football growing all over the world and people looking at FIFA as the organization who helps each country in the world to develop football and who helps kids to smile with their eyes because they have a ball and they can play with it.
The 45-year-old law graduate inherits a very different job from that enjoyed by Blatter, who toured the world for 17 years like a head of state, dispensing development funds to his global support base. Globally, Infantino's election as the new president of FIFA has been received enthusiastically.
President Gianni Infantino, newly elected, carries with him a great promise. As a young man with a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, carries a great promise for the revamping of FIFA.
И то, что Инфантино станет президентом, выиграет от этого и мировое футбольное сообщество, и Российский футбольный союз тоже.
As he left Switzerland after his election, Infantino said he wants to make the fans of soccer proud of FIFA. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
On to cricket, and arch rivals India and Pakistan take on each other in the T20 Asia Cup match at Mirpur near Dhaka. In the tournament, India have already beaten the hosts Bangladesh by 45 runs, while this will be Pakistan's first match. The two teams will clash next month in the World T20 tournament that is being hosted in India and are due to play on 19th of March at Dharamsala. The two teams practiced ahead of today's match together but skipped the pleasantries.
हमेशा मैंने अपनी परफॉर्मेंस को बहुत ज़्यादा अहमियत दी है। मुझे पता है कि मेरी परफॉर्मेंस कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट रहती है टीम के लिए। मेन जो हथियार है वो हमेशा से मेरा बॉलिंग रहा है, लेकिन मैं समझता हूँ कि जिस नंबर पे मैं बैटिंग करता हूँ उस नंबर पे भी आई थिंक कि मेरी बैटिंग परफॉर्मेंस का होना बहुत ज़रूरी है, चाहे वो 20-30 रन हो, लेकिन जिस नंबर पे हूँ इंशाल्लाह उस नंबर पे आई नो कि मेरी इंपॉर्टेंट ज़रूरी है।
You need your technique to be, sound, and you need to assess the condition as soon as possible. So I think, yesterday, knowing that we're going to play on similar kind of wickets going forward, so I'm sure all the batters are up for it, and they will prepare accordingly in the nets today. So
Let's get you some more sporting action in Sports Beat. Brazilian authorities are scrambling to contain the Zika outbreak, which threatens to keep visitors from attending the Olympics in Rio de Janeiro 5 months from now. The Rio Olympics will open on 5th of August in the midst of winters in the southern hemisphere, when mosquito population naturally drops, though do not go away entirely. With no cure or vaccine for Zika at the moment, the only way to deal with the virus is to reduce the population of the Aedes mosquito. Roger Federer has delayed his comeback from knee surgery by a month. The 34-year-old world number 3 had initially intended to return at the Indian Wells in March, but will instead wait for the Monte Carlo Masters in April. The 17-time Grand Slam champion sustained an injury in January, the day after his Australian Open semi-final defeat to Novak Djokovic. Federer, who won his most recent Grand Slam at Wimbledon in 2012, will now come back to coincide with the beginning of the clay court season. The 41-match winning streak of Indian tennis ace Sania Mirza and her Swiss partner Martina Hingis came to an end after the duo lost the quarterfinal of the Qatar Open. The top seeds lost against the Russian pair of Elina Vesnina and Daria Kasatkina 6-2, 4-6, 5-10 to bow out of the tournament. But that's all in this news bulletin. Thanks for watching.